morning, everyone. Steve Georgie here from Allendale's trading floor. It is September 5th. We do have markets up a little bit, finding a little bit of short covering right now. Corn up about a penny overnight. Beans up 4.5. Wheat up about 3 cents. Export sales were released, though, a little bit ago. More neutral numbers as far as old crop, but new crop expecting 550 to 750,000. For corn, came in at 525.6, a little disappointing there. And then for beans, expecting 900,000 to 1.1 million metric tons, came out at 869, so a little disappointing there as well. And then disappointing for wheat, 250,000 to 450 was the range, came in at 168.8. So just looking at the export numbers, may end up seeing some of the bounce that we're getting right now. We may give that back here once we get the markets restarted. But watch the lows that were made yesterday for corn, beans, and wheat. If we are going to find a little more short covering to give us a little bit more upside, we've got to hold these lows. Making new lows toward the end of the week certainly wouldn't be a very good setup here for next week. But a lot of guys watching the weather. So the 5-day forecast. So on Tuesday, they're expecting a cold snap down through the Dakotas into the northern parts of Nebraska. They're talking 14 to 16 degrees below average. I guess when you look at it, still shouldn't be anything that could be detrimental to the crops. Shouldn't get down cold enough for any kind of a frost or freeze. But they're watching this very closely because behind this, it seems like, the weather models are cooler all the way through the 15-day, 5 to 6 degrees below average temps as well. So it is still cool out there, and the potential of that might still be looming. That's what's going to give some kind of support here in the markets if we do talk about a frost or a freeze or temperatures get colder or what have you. So, but the 5-day forecast for next Tuesday, they're expecting that to be the coldest point here of next week. Markets are also watching the dollar. So a lot of chatter yesterday about the dollar. That was up very strong. The euro continues to work a little bit lower. European central banks cut interest rates again. So certainly keeping interest rates lower, which is pressuring their currency and supporting our dollar here. So if our dollar continues to work higher, that tends to put pressure on commodities in general. So that may continue. We may continue to see some selling as well if this dollar continues to rally. Looking at livestock, up $1.85 for cattle right now for October. Box beef coming in a little bit higher. Choice up 54, select up 75. We did see some trade in Nebraska, 160. That's equivalent to about a 157 trade in Texas. So $3 higher. And the market, we saw back and forth yesterday trying to, how do you take this? So right now, certainly stronger. We'll have to see if we can hold this going into the weekend, or will we see some profit taking as well. But hogs, $2 higher for October. Cutout values up $1.89. Certainly have turned the corner for these hogs and working their way back up. But we're getting to some technical levels, so we've got to watch the charts at this time. But, will we see some profit taken there today as well? We'll have to see. Outside market. Stock market right now down only 8 points. That's after the jobless numbers that came out this morning were certainly disappointing. 142,000 jobs. The expectation was 225,000 jobs. So we saw an early push lower for the stock market. That gave support to gold and silver. But now gold up $2, silver up 7 cents. And that dollar that we talked about was down more than 20 cents. It's down just 7 right now. Probably going to continue the path that we're seeing higher, but keep an eye on that dollar as far as market direction. If you guys need any other help here today, give us a call, 800-262-7538, or check us out on the web at allendale-inc.com. Hope you guys have a great day. Have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you again next week.